special thanks to Patreon supporter Trenchfighter8 for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here, bringing you another Minecraft World War II bathtub build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the IJN Chokai. Chokai was a Takao-Class heavy cruiser armed with 10 20cm or 8-inch guns, 4 12cm 5-inch guns, 8 tubes for the Type 93 torpedo, and assorted anti-aircraft guns. Chokai was designed with the Imperial Japanese Navy strategy of the Great Decisive Battle in mind and built in 1932 by Mitsubishi's shipyard in Nagasaki. She was sunk in the Battle of Samar in October 1944, and Chokai was named for Mount Chokai. Chokai was a Takao-Class heavy cruiser. Interestingly enough, though, despite there only being 4 ships within the Takao series of heavy cruisers, 2 were practically the same all the way around. However, the other 2 were different altogether, which is pretty odd for, only having 4 ships of a class and having such big differences between them. And so I did make a mistake back when I recorded the tutorial for the Takao class. I accidentally looked at the wrong model, and the model so happened to be the Chokai model. It was basically the main difference being that the back area for the catapults for the seaplanes to be launched from is actually positioned differently, so kind of flipped, kind of mirrored compared to the regular Takao class ships and how it's designed on them. The Chokai is basically just, again, a little bit of a different version of the Takao class. It's still under the series of Takao class, and most of the stuff about it is practically the same. Just the main difference really comes into play when we get to that back crane and the area where the catapults are positioned. And I'll kind of talk about that in a second. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Trenchfighter8 for making this video possible. Unfortunately, with my mistake for the last one, I'll be building pretty much a new version of the Takao to actually correct my mistake. I'll be building the Chokai and also the Maya, which are basically the Chokai Maya being different from the Takao class. Which the Takao class has the IJN Takao and the IJN Atago, which are basically the same, and then we have the 2 other different ones as I mentioned earlier. Anyways, this is the different version from the standard Takao class, so we'll go ahead and take a look at it. As you'll see, you'll pretty much see that most of the features of the ship are practically the same thing. From the bridge, everything like that, to our midsection here of all of our anti-aircraft and secondary batteries. However, this is where you start to see the difference. Now you can see over here on the Takao class we have pretty much the kind of flat area here, the crane mast and the seaplane catapults. However, over here on this side you can see it's a bit different. The mast is kind of right up here, right behind the can't think of the name of it now, but basically the funnels, I guess, for the exhaust, and then you have the crane that comes down, and then you have like this flat area here and the seaplanes, and then you have the back turrets. So you can see there's a bit of a difference between them. Again, it's not like major, because most of the ship really is relatively the same thing. However, you can see the slight difference in it, so it's going to pretty much be its own thing, because we have to structure it completely different than we would for that one over there. So anyways, pretty cool little thing, and we're gonna have basically all 4 basically versions of the Takao class, which will be pretty nice. You guys can pick and choose which one you want to build and have a good variety of, I guess, variants of a ship of its class. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial. Again, a special thanks to Patreon supporter Trenchfighter8 for making this video possible, and let's go ahead and start off with our first layer, layer 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving on to our first layer, we go ahead and start off with layer 1. Now for layer 1, what we want to do to get started is we're going to go ahead and start off by placing down a long row of brick top slabs. Now before we do that, we want to make sure that we have the water line marked out and how far we need to put this underwater. Now if we go ahead and take a look at this, our water should be at this level right here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of highlight this with some purple wool blocks. That's our water level. The surface of the water is going to be right up here, and it's pretty much a full block of water, and this is going to be underneath that full block of water on top there with a row of stone brick top slabs. Very important that you make sure that this is correct, because if this is too high or too low, your ship's going to sit obviously too high or too low. And then you're going to have to pretty much rebuild it or use World Ed to move it around. So just make sure it's at this level right here. Very important that you guys do so. And once you guys are for sure you're on the right level, we can go and get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a long row of brick top slabs. This row right here is going to be in total 35 brick top slabs going all the way along the bottom here, and this is going to go pretty much from the front to the back. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and go to whatever direction you want the front of your ship facing. So we're going to go ahead and have our ship facing this way, so we're going to go ahead and go to the front of the row up here. We're going to go ahead and go back to our 10th brick top slab back. We're going to go ahead and place down a brick top slab that comes off of it on either side. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 brick top slabs going back. We go ahead and count that again. We should have a total of 23 brick top slabs along the side here, like so. So up here in the front, you should have a total of 9 brick top slabs that stick out past this row of 3 right here. And going back here, you should have a total of 3 brick top slabs that stick past this row of 3 on the end there, just like that. Once we have that complete, we want to go ahead and again go toward our front of our ship. It's going to be this direction here. We're going to go ahead and go back to these row of 3 sections here. We're going to go ahead and go back to the 10th row again. We're going to go and place down a brick top slab on both sides, so we now have a row of 5. And we're just going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 brick top slabs after it. So you have a row of 10 here of brick top slabs on the side here. And then right here in this section, you should have a row of 4 that sticks out past these rows of 5 here of brick top slabs, like so. Once you have that done, you should have something like this. And just a quick mention as well, I'm going to be going and doing half on camera, half off for the whole section of the ship. Once we actually get up into the superstructure, I'll be doing it all on camera. So just a quick note, you know, that's what's going to be happening. So if you're a little confused or whatever, we're just going to be building the left side on camera, and it's up to you to copy the right side since it's exactly the same. And of course, the superstructure and all that will be done entirely for you guys to see. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer 2. Alrighty guys, moving on to our next layer, we go ahead and move it on to layer 2. For layer 2, we're going to start off by placing down a red hardened stained clay block on top of this brick top slab up here in the front. Come off this red stained clay block, we're going to place down one more red stained clay block sticking out like that for the very front bow. So we have these 2 red stained clay blocks like this. One sticks out past the row of brick top slabs by one going toward the front. After that, we're going to place down a total of 4 more red stained clay blocks after these 2, so you have a row of 6. Once we have that done, we're going to go and place down a brick top slab on both sides of this red stained clay block. After that brick top slab, we're going to place down a brick upside down stair, followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 red stained clay blocks back like so. After that, we're going to go and place down 1 and 2 brick top slabs after these last 2 red stained clay blocks. We're then going to place down 1 and 2 upside down brick stairs like so, followed by a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 red stained clay blocks. We then want to place down a brick stair facing this direction, upside down like this, followed by another upside down stair coming off of it, so we turn this stair into a brick stair, and we have a brick upside down stair like that. We then want to place down a brick top slab like that after it, followed by a red stained clay block on the inside here of the top slab like so. After that, we're going to place down one more red stained clay block going back like that, followed by a brick upside down stair next to it, and then we're going to place down a second upside down brick stair as well. Actually, my bad, sorry, a brick top slab come off this brick stair like so. In between these 2 brick top, or this brick top slab in the middle here, on top of this brick top slab here on the bottom, we're going to place down a red stained clay block, followed by one more that comes out like this. It's going to stick out one past this row of brick top slabs we have on the bottom that we did in the previous layer. We're then going to place down a brick upside down stair coming off the red stained clay block, followed by another upside down stair coming off the front of the brick upside down stair, and then another upside down stair on the back of this stair. So we get something that looks like this for the back here, the rudder and all that. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to go and put our props on. So for these, if you're in 1.13, you should have the end rods that should be able to go underwater now. If not, you need to use fence gates or something like that to make this work. However, end rods preferably if you are running the new 1.13 update. Anyways, we're going to go to this row of this brick top slab here. We're going to place down 1 and 2 end rods coming off of it, followed by a sandstone half slab like so. And then we want to go ahead and go to this brick top slab here, place down 1 end rod like this, and then again a a sandstone half slab just like that for your props and your basically tubes. So once you have that all done, that's going to do it for layer 2. And with that, let's move on to layer 3. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 3. This is going to be the last layer. We're going to be doing half on camera, half off, and the rest of the layers will be all fully done on camera. So with that, let's move on to layer 3. So for layer 3, we're going to go ahead and start off by going to this red stained clay block up here in the front. We're going to place down a row of 5 here of polished andesite after it. We then want to place down a row of 7 here of spruce wood planks, followed by a row of 18 here of polished andesite. we're then going to place down a row of 8 of spruce wood planks again, and then a row 2 of polished andesite on the end there. So that should give you your center line down the ship. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some cobblestone walls. We're going to go and go to the 3rd and 4th polished andesite block from the front. We're going to place down 1 and 2 cobblestone walls like this, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 polished andesite blocks back. We're then going to place down 1, 2, and 3 spruce wood planks back, followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 polished andesite blocks, and then 1, 2, and 3 cobblestone walls going back like so. After that's done, we're going to go back up here to the front of the ship. We're going to place down a cobblestone wall coming off of our 6th polished andesite block back, the 5th polished andesite block back. So it should be right before these brick top slabs and upside down stairs right here on the side. After this cobblestone wall, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cobblestone walls after it, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 polished andesite blocks back, followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 cobblestone walls going back as well. Once we have that done, what we need to do next is we need to put these little extension pieces on the side here. I'm not exactly sure what these are meant to be per se, but they are on the ship, so we are including them. We're going to go to our 2nd cobblestone wall right here from this polished andesite block. We're going to place down 2 end rods coming off of it like so. On either side of this last end rod on the very end here, we're going to place down a iron bar like this on both sides. We then want to place down basically an iron bar going in at an angle on both sides, so one right here, and one coming off this cobblestone wall as well. And then we're also going to place down an iron bar right here, coming off this polished andesite block. So we should get something that kind of looks like this for the back section there. Pretty simple and everything like that. Once we have that done, that's going to do it for layer 3. This right here is where we're going to go ahead and start to get into basically doing different kind of structural designs and stuff like that for the ship and doing it all on camera. So now we're starting to get into the superstructure. Anyways, let's go and move on to layer 4. Alrighty, so moving on to layer 4. Now layer 4 is probably easily going to be our longest layer for the tutorial. There's a lot of stuff going on here and a lot of setting up for the superstructure, but once we get this layer done, it starts to progressively get easier and easier. However, to go ahead and get started with this layer, we're going to go ahead and need to place down a polished andesite block on top of this one right up here on the front. On either side of this polished andesite block, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull like that on both sides, followed by an upside down stone brick stair coming off the front here like that for the very front of the bow. After that's done, we're going to place down a polished andesite block after it, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides of that polished andesite block. We then want to place down a stone brick stair, come off the polished andesite block, followed by again a cobblestone stair on both sides. After that, we're going to place down a stone brick half slab, going back like that, followed by a skeleton skull, which is going to be on both sides on those cobblestone walls like that. After that's done, we're then going to place down a stone brick half slab on both sides like this, followed by a dark oak wood fence gate like that in the very front there. After that dark oak wood fence gate, we're going to place down a stone brick stair, followed by a polished andesite block, and that's going to kind of do it for your first turret, turret 1. We also want to grab ourselves some iron trapdoors. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor here on both sides of that stone brick stair, and also a redstone repeater flicked back all the way like this on both sides of the polished andesite block right here for turret 1. After that's done, we're going to place down 2 cobblestone walls going back from the polished andesite block here. We're also going to place down a row of 2 of brown carpet on these 2 polished andesite blocks like that. After that's done, we're going to place down a polished andesite block after this cobblestone wall, followed by a stone brick stair and another dark oak wood fence gate opened up toward the stair like that, so we create turret number 3. We also want to place down again a redstone repeater on both sides of this polished andesite block. Coming off this stone brick stair here, we're going to take brown carpet. We're going to place down 1 and 2 brown carpet to the side and 1 and 2 brown carpet to the side on both sides. We're then going to go ahead and place down a redstone comparator on both sides here, like this, of this dark oak wood fence gate here, and then again a brown carpet on both sides, like so. So that's going to kind of do it for the front section here, so you should get something that kind of looks like this. Continuing on, we're going to place down a row of 3 of stone brick stairs across, followed by a brown carpet on both sides. We then want to place down a row of 3 of polished andesite behind these stone brick stairs, followed by again a brown carpet on both sides. After that's done, we're going to go and place down a stone brick upside down stair, which is going to kind of come off here like this on both sides, followed by a row of 3 here of polished andesite in between those stone brick stairs. We're also going to grab ourselves a sign, and we're going to place down a sign here on the side here of this stone brick stair. Going ahead and continuing on, we're going to place down 2 rows of 3 here of polished andesite along the middle. We're going to place down a stone brick top slab, followed by an upside down stone brick stair after it. Same thing on this side, stone brick top slab and stone brick upside down stair. We're going to grab ourselves some skeleton skulls, place down 1 and 2. 1 and 2 on both sides on the stone brick top slab and upside down stair to represent the torpedo tubes. Continuing on, we're going to place down a row of 5 here of polished andesite all the way across. We then want to go ahead and again place down 2 rows of 3 here, followed by 2 stone brick upside down stairs facing each other on both sides, or both ends of the rows of 3, like down the side. When that's done, we're going to go ahead and take our polished andesite again. We're going to place down a row of 5 across. We then want to place down again 2 rows of 3 in the middle here. We're going to place down a stone brick upside down stair, like this, followed by a top slab after it. Same thing over here on this side, like so. And we're also going to go ahead and again take some skeleton skulls and place down skeleton skulls, like that on the sides there for again the torpedo tubes. Continuing on, we're going to place down a row of 5 of polished andesite all the way across. We then want to place down a row of 3 of polished andesite in the middle here, followed by a stone brick upside down stair like this on both sides. We're then going to place down a second row of 3 with another stone brick upside down stair, however, like facing the this direction, so we create a corner stair with this previous stair. And same thing over here on this side, like so. Continuing on, we're going to place down a row of 5 again of polished andesite all the way across. However, this time we're going to place down a cobblestone wall on both ends like that. We then want to go ahead and actually switch up a little bit of stuff here. I kind of forgot. We kind of went a little bit too far in with just filling the inside here of polished andesite. I forgot about some of the detail here on the beginning, or in this section here, so we actually need to adjust this just a tiny bit. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to this row here. We have this stone brick upside down stair here, this row right here. We're going to go ahead and place down a, we're going to go ahead and break this block on either side of this middle polished andesite block. We're going to place down a spruce wood stair like that on both sides there. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves some more spruce wood stairs. We're going to go ahead and break these polished andesite blocks and place again spruce wood stairs like that on both sides, and then a cobblestone wall right there in the middle. So just make those small adjustments there. I do apologize for kind of missing that. I kind of got a little too far ahead of myself there. Anyways, continuing on, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some stone slabs here. We're going to place down a stone slab coming off this cobblestone wall here, followed by a polished andesite block on both sides of the stone slab full block. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick upside down stair on both sides, come off those polished andesite blocks. We then want to go ahead and again place down a polished andesite block in the middle, stone slab full block on both sides, followed by a stone brick upside down corner stair like that coming off this stair right here, and same thing over here, just like that. After that's done, we're going to place down a row of 3 of polished andesite across like so, followed by a cobblestone wall on both ends. We then want to place down a polished andesite block in the middle here, followed by again a cobblestone wall on both sides. We're going to grab ourselves some levers and place down a lever like this on both sides on those polished andesite blocks, and make sure the levers are flicked out to the sides like so. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a cobblestone wall coming off this polished andesite block in the middle here. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves redstone comparators again. We're going to place down a redstone comparator on both sides like that, followed by a lever again that's going to be flicked off to the side there like that for more AA gun positions. After that's done, we're going to place down a polished andesite block after this cobblestone wall, stone brick stair like so. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a stone button and place down a stone button for a bit of detail on both sides on those spruce wood planks like so. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves a brown carpet. We're going to place down a brown carpet on those 2 cobblestone walls on both sides like that. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a end rod, which is going to be on top of this cobblestone wall here on both sides like that. We also want to place down an iron bar coming off the end rod like that for, again, this kind of like little attachment on the sides there, so it's going to be on both sides like so. Coming off the sides here of the stone brick stair, we're just going to place down a brown carpet on both sides. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a dark oak fence gate, place it coming off this stone brick stair like so, just like we did for the front turrets. We then want to place down a redstone comparator on both sides on these polished andesite blocks, so either side of that dark oak wood stair. We're then going to take some skeleton skulls. We're going to place down a skeleton skull on both sides like that, followed by a row of 2 here of brown carpet coming off from the stairs. In the middle here on these spruce wood planks here, we're going to place down a stone button in the middle here, followed by a redstone comparator facing this direction like that. And then lastly, we're just going to go ahead and grab ourselves an end rod. We're going to place down an end rod on this polished andesite block here on the very end like that. Once we have that done, we should have something that looks just like this for layer 4 of the build. As you can see, it really starts to set up the superstructure, and the build really starts to come together and start looking, you know, a lot more like the Chokai and everything like that. Again, that was our longest layer, so the layers from here on out should be a little bit easier, but yeah, that was our longest layer. Anyways, with that, let's go and move on to our next layer, layer 4. And my apologies, we're actually moving on to layer 5, so my bad. Anyways, going ahead and continuing on with layer 5. What we want to do is we're going to start off by placing down an end rod up here on top of this stone brick upside down stair. We're then going to place down a stone button after it on this polished andesite block, followed by a redstone comparator like this, like so. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and go back here to these 2 cobblestone walls. We're going to place down a stone brick stair on the first cobblestone wall, followed by a polished andesite block on top of the second. We're then going to go ahead and take a dark oak wood fence gate, and we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off that stone brick stair to create turret number 2. Continuing on top of this polished andesite block here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a redstone repeater and place down a redstone repeater like that on top of the polished andesite block. We then want to go and go to these stone brick stairs here. We're going to place down a row of 3 across like this on top of those stone brick stairs, followed by a row of 3 of polished andesite blocks behind them. We then want to go ahead and place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, stone brick stair on both sides like that, followed by a stone brick stair again on both sides of its back to the cobblestone wall. We then want to place down an air polished andesite block in the middle here, cobblestone wall on both sides. We're going to go ahead and also grab ourselves some quartz slabs, place down 1 and 2 quartz slabs going back on top of those, the stone brick top slab and stone brick upside down stair. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 5 here in between these second quartz full blocks. So we're going to place down polished andesite blocks right there. Or actually, my bad, we're going to place down a polished andesite block in the middle, followed by a stone brick upside down stair on both sides. We then want to place down an air polished andesite block in the middle, followed by a stone brick corner stair, upside down coming off this stone brick stair like so. Once we get that done, we're going to go and grab ourselves polished andesite. We're going to place down a polished andesite block in the middle here, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides. We also want to place down a stone brick stair, like this, coming off the 2 cobblestone walls. We're going to go and place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off the stone brick stair, like this again on both sides here to make our secondary batteries. And we will need to go ahead and go into our inventory. We're going to grab ourselves some item frames. We're going to place down an item frame on both sides of the stone brick stair with a polished andesite block in it, like this on both sides here, to go ahead and make these kind of more proper like turrets. After that's done, we want to place down a polished andesite block again here in the middle, followed by a stone brick upside down stair on both sides with its back facing toward the rear. We're also going to grab ourselves a lever and place down a lever right here on top of this stone brick upside down stair, and same thing over here, make sure they're flicked out to the sides. Continuing on, we're going to place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides. We're also going to place down an end rod coming off this cobblestone wall on top of this polished andesite block on both sides as well. Continuing on, we're going to place down a stone brick or a polished andesite block here, followed by a stone brick stair on both sides. We also want to grab ourselves a cobblestone wall, place it down on both sides with an item frame coming off the cobblestone wall. And we're going to place down a glass block in the item frame like that to make these giant kind of like spotlights on the side here of the ship. Continuing on, we're going to place down a polished andesite block again in the middle here, followed by a stone brick stair like this. So we turn this stair right there into a corner stair. And we're going to go and basically do the same thing right here. And we just want to go and place down a iron trapdoor on both sides like this, coming off that stone brick stair, followed by a sign coming off the wooden trap or the iron trapdoor, just like that again on both sides. Continuing on, we're going to place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides. We're then going to place down a stone brick stair again on both sides, and we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off that stone brick stair like that again for our narrow section of secondary batteries. And we just want to then place down some item frames on the side here of these stairs with some polished andesite blocks in it, and we can't place down item frames on this side of the stairs, so we're going to leave those alone for right now. Continuing on, we're going to go and place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides. We then also want to go and grab ourselves some cobblestone slabs. We're going to place down a cobblestone slab on top of this this cobblestone wall, followed by one more that sticks back, and then 2 more that go toward the front. So something like that on the side here, and same thing over here, like this, and this is going to be for the catapults. So just like that. And then once we have that done, we have a little bit of detail on this top section right here. So for this, we're just going to go and place down a stone button right here on these stone full blocks right here. We're going to place down a redstone comparator like this on the middle polished andesite block in between those stone slab blocks. And then we just want to grab ourselves some levers. We're going to place down one lever like this, one like so, and then one right here on top of this polished andesite, and just like that for more AA guns. And also we're going to place down a skeleton skull on the end here of these 2 cobblestone half slab rows. Continuing on, we're going to place down a polished andesite block on top of this polished andesite block right here. We're also going to place down a stone brick half slab, which is going to go on both sides here. And I don't think I've actually I actually have a stone. Oh no, I have one right here. We're gonna place down a stone brick half slab on both sides of this polished andesite block, like so, and we're gonna go and take signs and wrap it around this side here and this side right there. Same thing over here, just like that. We then want to place down a stone brick stair on top of this cobblestone wall, followed by a dark oak wood fence gate coming off the stone brick stair like that. And then lastly, we're just going to grab ourselves an end rod and place it down top of this end rod on the end here for the back kind of pull here on the rear. Anyways, once we have that done, that's going to do it for layer 5. And with that, let's move on to layer 6. Alright guys, moving on to layer 6. For layer 6, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and start off by placing down an end rod on top of this end rod right up here in the front. We then want to go ahead and place down a row of 2 here, redstone repeater, or just a redstone repeater on top of this polished andesite block, followed by kind of flicked out to the sides there like so. Continuing on, in this section here, we're going to place down a polished andesite block on top of this one right here, followed by a stone button that comes off of it. We then want to place down a stone brick stair on both sides of the polished andesite block, followed by a kind of signs that wrap around the side and the front of the stair on both sides like that. After that's done, we're going to go and place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, followed by a skeleton skull on both sides. We then want to place down again a polished andesite block in the middle, stone brick half slab on both sides like that. We then want to place down a row 3 of polished andesite all the way across, like that. We're going to place down a polished andesite block in the middle here, followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides as well. When we get to this section here, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick stair on top of these 2 cobblestone walls, and it'll be facing with their back out to the sides, so just like that. In between the stairs, we're going to place down a stone brick slab, like so. Once we have that done, we're going to place down a row 2 of polished andesite right here in the middle. And then we're going to grab ourselves an iron trapdoor, place down an iron trapdoor on top of this stone brick upside down stair. We're going to place down a sign on the side of it like so. Same thing over here, just like that. We then want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull on top of this cobblestone wall on both sides like that. And then we're going to place down a stone brick slab coming off the skeleton skull like this, again on both sides here. We want to go and place down a sign coming off the basically the side here of the stone brick half slab. And we also want to go ahead and grab ourselves an iron frame, and we're going to place down an iron frame here on the side of these stone brick half slabs to kind of fill in this space and create the siding around here like that. After that's done, we're going to place down an iron frame over here on this side of the stone brick half slab as well. We then want to place down a polished andesite block here in the middle, followed by a stone brick stair if it's back facing toward the rear, like this on both sides on top of those corner stairs right there. We also want to place down a sign on the side here of this stone brick stair, again on both sides. We're then going to place down a polished andesite block again in the middle, followed by a empty space right here over the stair. And we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick half slab that kind of comes out and sticks out like this. And same thing over here like so. And actually we're just going to take an iron trapdoor and place it down on top of this stone brick stair here on both sides just to kind of close that off like so. And then we're going to go and place down a item frame on the side here of this stone brick half slab, followed by a sign like that on the side. And also an item frame over here on this side of this half slab. And same thing over here. Item frame, sign, and item frame just like that. And actually, my bad, this item frame right here, we're actually going to put down a sign instead. So just go and put it down a sign over here on this side instead. We then want to place down a polished andesite block in the middle, followed by a cobblestone wall, again on both sides. We're going to place down an iron frame coming off the cobblestone wall. And just like we did down here, we're going to place down a glass block in the iron frame, like this. And same thing over here, like so, to go and create our spotlights. After that, so we're going to place down a cobblestone wall coming off this polished andesite block like that. And then we want to go ahead and place down an additional polished andesite block, which I kind of missed from the previous layer, right here on top of this one right here. And then we're going to place down a skeleton skull, which is going to go on top of this polished andesite block, just like that. Once we have that done, we're pretty much good for this section here. We're going to go back to this turret right here. We're going to place down a redstone repeater on top of it, if it's not just flicked out to the sides there. And we just want to go ahead and that's actually pretty much it. So with that, that's going to do it for layer 6. With that, let's move on to layer 7. Alright guys, moving on to layer 7. For layer 7, what we want to do to go ahead and get started is we're going to go and place down a light gray stained glass full block on top of this polished andesite block right here. In the front, we're then going to place down a sign on the front here of this glass full block. We also want to place down a skeleton skull at about a 45-degree angle on top of these 2 stone brick stairs on either side of the light gray stained glass full block, so you get something that looks like that from the front. After that's done, we're going to place down a polished andesite block directly behind this light gray stained glass block, followed by a stone brick stair out to the side like this on both sides. We're also going to place down an item frame on the side here of the stair next to this, or in between the stair and this skeleton skull. And we also want to place down a sign on the front here of the stair, just like that on both sides. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick corner stair, like this on both sides, a polished andesite block, of course, in the middle, and a sign on the side here of this stone brick corner stair. After that, we're going to place down a cobblestone wall coming off the stone brick corner stairs, again a polished andesite block in the middle, and again a sign on the side here of these cobblestone walls on both sides. With that done, we're going to place down a stone brick upside down stair, come off the polished andesite block right there in the middle, and then we just want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull, like this on top of these two cobblestone walls, like that. We're also going to grab ourselves some end rods. We're going to place down an end rod on top of these two stone brick stairs, like so. We then want to place down a polished andesite block on top of this one right here, followed by a nether brick stair directly behind it. We're then going to place down a redstone repeater on top of this polished andesite block, and followed by a nether brick full block, like so. After that's done, we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this polished andesite block. We then want to go ahead and place down a iron or end rod on both sides on those two cobblestone walls, like that. And then we're going to place down a stone brick upside down stair, which is going to come off of this skeleton skull, so just like that. We're going to go ahead and take some iron trapdoors. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor on both sides of this stone brick stair, and we're going to go and wrap some signs around the iron trapdoors like this. Same thing over here. We're wrapping around like that. And then we just want to go ahead and that's actually going to do it for this layer. I thought there was a little bit more to it, but that's actually it. Anyways, that's going to do it for layer, I believe, 7. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 8. You can see now what I mentioned earlier about it gets easier and easier as we kind of go on. That's kind of starting to become true now. So moving on to layer 8, we're going to go and continue on. So what we want to do to begin with is we're going to place down an iron trapdoor on top of this light gray stained glass block, followed by an iron frame on both sides here, and then a sign on the front here of this iron trapdoor. After that, we're going to place down another light gray stained glass block behind the iron trapdoor. We're then going to place down a stone brick half slab on both sides of this light gray stained glass block, followed by a skeleton skull that's going to be facing toward the front like that. After we have that done, we're going to place down a polished andesite block after the light gray stained glass block, followed by a stone brick upside down stair on both sides of that polished andesite block, and we also want to go and place down a sign coming off the stone brick stair, just like that on both sides. After that's done, we're going to go and place down a iron trapdoor, come off those two stone brick upside down stairs, followed by a sign on the side here, just like this on both sides. After that's done, we're just going to place down a polished andesite block here in the middle again, followed by a cobblestone wall after that, and then a sign here on both sides as well on those on that polished or that cobblestone wall. And we're also just going to place down one more sign here on the end there, just like that. Anyways, once that's done, we're going to go and grab ourselves some end rods again. We're going to place down 1 and 2 more end rods on top of these 2 right here. We're going to grab ourselves a nether brick slab. We're going to place down a nether brick slab on top of this polished andesite full block. Going back to this section here, we're going to place down 2 more end rods, or 1 more end rod on both these end rods over here like that. After that, we're going to go and grab ourselves a nether brick stair. We're going to place down a nether brick upside down stair on top of this stone brick upside down stair, so it's going to be facing this direction, so a little bit different. And we're going to place down a sign here on both sides of the stair. And yeah, that's going to do it right there for that. We then want to place down a stone brick half slab coming off of the stair like this, and also a stone brick top slab coming off the half slab, so we get something that kind of looks just like this. We can go ahead and place down a placeholder block coming off the stone brick top slab, followed by a iron bar like this, and we can go and break that placeholder block just like that for the crane. And with that, that's going to do it for layer 8. With that, let's go ahead and move on to layer 9. Alrighty guys, moving on to layer 9. For layer 9, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start off by placing down an iron trapdoor on top of this light gray stained glass block. We're then going to place down a stone brick stair, which is going to be on top of this polished andesite block like so. On either side, we're going to go and grab ourselves a redstone comparator. We're going to place down a redstone comparator like this on top of the stone brick upside down stair on both sides like so. After that, we're going to place down a polished andesite block after this stone brick stair, followed by a iron trapdoor again on both sides with a sign coming off the side of it, and same thing right here, just like this. And then we're also going to place down a sign over here on these sides as well, just like that for the top here. After that, we're going to go and place down a stone brick stair on top of this polished andesite, or sorry, that cobblestone wall right there. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves a skeleton skull and place down a skeleton skull coming off these signs on both sides like that. And then we also want to place down a lever, which is going to be coming off the back here of this stone brick stair. Once that's done, we're going to go back here to the crane. We're going to go and place down a upside down Nether Brick Stair on top of this one right here, just like we did before. We're going to place down an item frame with a glass block in it like this, and a sign to cover it up like so. Same thing over here on this side, just like that. And we do not have anything on the front of the stair. Going back to the crane section here, we're going to place down a stone brick half slab coming off of this top slab, so again at this kind of angle here. And then we want to go ahead and place down an upside down stone brick stair, which is going to be kind of coming off this stone brick half slab. So you get something that kind of looks like that for the crane right there. Anyways, once you guys have that done, that's going to do it for layer 9. With that, we're going to move on to our last final layers, which are basically going to be layers 10, 11, and 12, and actually 13. We're going to put the top of the mass on and all that stuff, and pretty much finish this build off. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our last final layers. Alright guys, so move on to our last final layers. We're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going to our conning tower here. So for this, we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this polished andesite block, followed by a end rod on both sides of this skeleton skull. We then want to place down 1 and 2 end rods going up from this stone brick stair here. On the top of this second end rod here, we're going to place down a stone brick stair like this. And actually, my bad, this is actually going to go only 1 end rod up, and we're going to place down a stone brick stair. We then want to place down 1 and 2 end rods coming off of this stone brick stair on both sides like so. So 1 and 2. Followed by a skeleton skull coming off the front of the stair like that. We also want to go and go on the back here on top of this lever right here. We're going to place down 1 and 2 end rods going up. And then lastly, for the top conning tower mast, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 iron bars going across the top there, just like that. With that finished, we're going to go ahead and go back to their crane right here. So for the crane, what we want to do for this is we want to go ahead and actually take some nether brick stairs. We're going to go and place down a nether brick stair on top of this stair right here, followed by a wither skeleton skull on both sides. And one quick adjustment I want to make is I want to go ahead and actually place down a wither skeleton skull come off this sign right here on both sides, so you should get something that kind of looks like this now. Is my mistake. It should be included with the build. I don't know why it wasn't. Let me go ahead and fix it on this model as well. But just go and put these wither skeleton skulls like that on both sides there. That's from the previous layer. Anyways, continuing on top here on this nether brick stair, we're going to place down a nether stair on top of it, this time facing the opposite direction, so like that. And we then want to just place down 1 and 2 end rods on top of it, followed by an end rod coming off on both sides here of the end rod right here on the first kind of layer right there. Lastly, we're just going to go and grab ourselves some iron bars. We're going to place down 1 and 2 iron bars come off this nether brick stair, and then we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this stone brick upside down stair, and 1 more iron bar going kind of more toward the back of that nether brick stair, just like that. Once you guys have that all finished, that's going to pretty much do it for the actual build itself. We're going to go and move on to actually adding the seaplanes onto the catapult. So if you want to add the seaplanes on, I'll show you guys how to do that real quickly. But that's basically the standard kind of design there for the IJN Chokai Takao-Class heavy cruiser. And let's go and move on to putting the seaplanes on if you guys choose to add them. Alright, so adding the seaplanes on is really simple. I got to give credit to my friend who actually designed the seaplane, designed the Red Deer. Very nice of him, and a very nice little design for a 1:5 scale plane. Works really nicely, so thank you to him for this design. Anyways, to go ahead and put the seaplanes on, very simple. We just need to go ahead and place down a placeholder block basically right here at this level, so that we can place down a dark oak wood fence gate right here, come off the side of this stone brick half slab or cobblestone half slab, and same thing over here. We're going to place down another fence gate like so. We then want to place down a green carpet on top of these 2 fence gates like that, followed by a birchwood slab here in the middle. Come off the birchwood slab, we're going to place down a zombie head like so, and then after the birchwood slab here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair like this, and that right there is pretty much going to do it for the seaplane. A very simple design, and actually works pretty decent for the scale we're building at. And you can go and take that same seaplane, put it over here on this side, or just have one seaplane on, maybe have one of them flying with it or something like that as a little bit of an escort or a scouting plane. Or have maybe one in the water, and you can turn the crane and have it trying to hoist one of the seaplanes up onto the deck. A lot of possibilities you guys can do with the ship and what we have currently, but that's pretty much how you do the seaplane. And you can take that same design, put it over on the other one, and have 2 seaplanes on board and ready to go. Anyways, that right there is going to do it for the IJN Chokai Takao-Class heavy cruiser. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the build, and this is what was this is basically the version that I did a tutorial on earlier, but I decided to do a few modifications to it to make it better, and re-release a tutorial for it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the build. I expect to see the Takao and Atago coming, as well as the Maya, so we'll have a nice assortment of pretty much all of the ships within the Takao series of heavy cruisers. Anyways, guys, that's going to do for this tutorial. Again, a special thanks to Trench Fighter 8 for making this video possible. And everything like that. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.